Welcome back to the Elite Series League of Legends Division 2. With me, Fresh Tana in the English stream, and with me on my side, it's Harmless Scarecrow.
Hello. So excited for the next and last game of the evening.
Yes.
We already had a great few games today. So just excited for the last one.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we have PERTINAX versus a Dynasty. Dynasty, definitely a team name everybody in Benelux should know, just because Dynasty is one of those orgs in Benelux who everybody should know, I guess. Both teams come from the Netherlands, just saying. And it's definitely a matchup you can be excited about. If we look at the standings, we have Dynasty being on 2-0 right now. So they both won. They won the first two games, and PERTINAX kind of played even in both games. So they won the first on Wednesday and then lost sadly on Friday. So they need to bounce back, and maybe it could work against Dynasty, maybe not, because, and here's the bad joke I will mention every single cast, because Dynasty wants to build up their own Dynasty, of course. Yeah, and just
Never
because
gets
we
old.
are a little bit early to the party, I definitely want to mention one player just because I know him. I mean, the Benelux scene, usually you know some names, you don't know some names and stuff, and especially in the Division 2, maybe some more like new up and coming newcomers you will see here or there. But there's one German player, and of course, I'm from Germany, so I know him, and it's Skellen on Dynasty, and I think he even like got voted for MVP in the first match day on Wednesday for his Maokai. So he is definitely a great player and played for me on last winter split. So I know at least a little bit about him. And so I'm really excited to see him back. But of course, we saw a really well played Yumi by not Yumi but Seri by Dark Unique, for example, in the same game and stuff. Snilla is known for me as well. So it's a good team. And on the flip side, we have legend names like Dazzle Trop, for example, well known player, for example, for the top lane of PERTINAX. So yeah, just exciting to see both teams clashing, and hopefully we have a banger, because, and I think you can say something about that, the last three games all really had some amazing showings from the players, and some even really close for both teams.
Yeah. Especially the second game was so close. Aurora versus Ioma. So close. Both of those teams really deserved to win. But then Ioma took it home with their just tankier lineup. But still both of those teams deserved to win. In our last game, Rift's loss with a huge performance. Like that was a great Yone, great Sejuani. They just punished the hell out of their opponents. But still, yeah, we're in draft right now. See, Dynasty already banned Maokai. I think he has been banned every single time today. Just such a great champion. What should I say about it? Just so strong with the Ashe and Vi ban on PERTINAX side. Also, Ashe has been picked, I think, almost every game today.
Yeah.
Just such a good flex pick, support, so much catch, so much vision, ADC, just so much DPS, so much damage. Just very good bans overall. So the Caitlyn, very dominant in the lane. Really would not like to play against that.
Yeah, and those are basically like the red side bans you need to do, just because Caitlyn is such a strong first pick, Maokai as well. So some could even say you ban Nami now as the third champion for Dynasty, just because you don't want to give up Illusion Army. Some could say just ban out like the Rise, for example, because Rise is still open. You don't want to give such a champion away. But let's see, maybe they just ban 2 meta champions and now just try to like ban out one target ban, for example, just to be safer at one of those lanes. We need to see which one they want to target the most. And then, of course,
Yes.
now where we see all the bans, Nami still open, Ryze still open, so that could be some pickups. I think we saw some we saw Sachuani, we saw some other crazy stuff. We saw really good Jax, for example, some really strong Yones, but all of those champions shouldn't be first pickable. So let's see what's the pickup here, and it's basically one of the stronger combos right now with the Sari. But of course, Yumi got hit really strong, so maybe we see the Sari Lulu combination. And Sari is still one of the strongest ADCs, of course. And yeah, that was obvious that now that Yumi got really, I don't know, destroyed, and Lulu almost is one of the best supports with Sari, Dynasty wants to pick it away.
Yeah, this is a very good play from them, just denying them their Lulu, such a valuable pick with the Zeri, just so much speed, so much shielding, also very good in lane. There's a very good counter pick from Dynasty to deny PERTINAX their ideal bot lane. But still, Yumi still open, even though if she's not as good right now. Oh, there's the Zivir Lulu. That's gonna be a very interesting bot lane. It's a lot of they're just so fast, they're just so quick. So they just have such a rundown potential if they just go for something like a very aggressive bruiser on top lane who just runs in and just tries to catch that very quick Zeri and just shut her down.
Yeah, or you could go for like the Wukong, and Wukong really wants to have some more mobility, for example.
Yes.
There's the Jarvan, and Jarvan always like opens up some champions, like a Kindred, for example, or maybe even I don't think that we will see it, but maybe even there could be the Nidalee for Skallen, just because it could be a good matchup. You can always just with those jumps dodge the knockup, for example. You can jump out of the Cataclysmos, of course, and you can maybe even bully him in the early game, because if you dodge his level 2 combo with the knockup, then you are pretty good to go. But now they go for a Zac, which is really strong right now, especially with this new item. With I don't know how to name it, but it's better. But with this AP,
Gradient.
yeah, no, yeah, I
is it
think you can
Gradient?
go for both, but I kind of like this bruiser AP damage dealing build for Zac a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a Caliban, but we also have to say PERTINAX picked Sona instead of Lulu. Sona also very strong, very annoying in lane with a Q spam. Also skates very well, also has a lot of movement speed, which Zeri really wants, because more movement speed, she's just going to be uncatchable. That's the Olaf ban. Okay, we have seen Olaf last game. Just such a strong pick. Also very good into Zac. With a Zac, sorry. So yeah.
But I mean, Olaf usually doesn't like Jarvan, so because you can just lock him down, and he probably almost plays Ghost. So the Jarvan is usually like a counter to Olaf, so probably you didn't need it to ban him at least. But they just wanted to be on the safe side, because Olaf, of course, could run down your Swanna, for example. Easily could run down your Sari, for example, just because he is as fast as Sari. So he will always reach her. And now we have some mid lane bans, the Akali and the Syndra, two of the most played champions from actually both mid laners. So we will see something new from them both. Khazad-dûm got banned as well, and they both don't really look like huge Ryze players, because Ryze still is open, but they will not go for it. There could be Orianna, and I really like it, together with the Zac, and of course with the Xivir, because Orianna can speed up everybody, Xivir can speed up everybody, so you always have like the follow up to the Zac, And now everything that the team comp still needs is like one more bruiser, one more like front line, because otherwise Zac could be alone in the back line. So maybe if you get a Wukong, for example, or something, or for the top lane, would be really, really good to just hold the ball from Orianna, because usually Zac, if he jumps in, the connection is way too long, so that you can't really follow up with the Orianna ultimate. So maybe one more bruiser for the top lane could be fitting, or maybe even the Zac top lane, who knows.
Could be Zac top lane, yeah.
But on the other side, it's Ahri, and I think Ahri really fits the team just because you can jump out of Zac. So she is a little bit more safe. You can jump out of the Shockwave, for example. And you are still an assassin who can follow up with dashes onto a Sari who maybe jumps over the wall, or onto the Jarvan who jumps over the wall. So I really like this pivot. And then, of course, Sion just for more frontline. But usually something like in Sion gives the enemy team something to counterpick, but actually Sin for scale, it's actually a Zac top lane. So
Zac top lane.
I mean, I kind of predicted it, or at least I said that it could be Zac top lane, and it was Zac top lane actually, and that's really, really surprising. And Skellen gets onto one of his, I would say, signature picks, or at least I saw a lot of the Sin from him, and with Nidalee, those are the two most played champions from him last season. So definitely a well-known Lee Sin player, and I think the matchup against Jarvan is fine enough. So they all bamboozled us with the Zac top lane, and he might go Smite. I mean, what's that?
Okay.
I never saw that.
No,
Why should you pick Smite? I mean, that's new to me.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Like, just double security in the jungle, I have no idea. But still, Dynasty's draft just looks so good, even with the smites on Zac.
Yeah.
Just the Zac Ori combo is just so strong. If Zac just jumps in, Ori ultis. Lee Sin also very easy to lock down that Zeri, which is gonna be such a dangerous champion for them. But yeah, in my opinion, Dynasty has the better draft, but we're gonna see how. The Zac changed his smite to TP. Okay.
Last second. It was close.
Lil Bamboozle.
Yeah. But would be funny with Smite top lane. Yeah, but in the end, I kind of like the draft from Dynasty as well. I mean, there are some problems like the Cataclysmus really hard counters the Zivia. I mean, she can run as fast as she wants. If she can't get out of the Cataclysmus, she could get killed. So that's always some counterplay. And then top lane matchup, I mean, double tank. Kind of depends actually who gets a little bit more help, because if a tank gets ahead in a tank matchup, then the other tank will never be tanky, and the other tank can always run down the weaker tank. So there's actually some potential to at least gank it once or gank it twice, just to have always the winning sideline. At least in my opinion, or at least me as a tank top lane player, I really want some ganks, but they usually say no, we don't gank tanks, which is always sad. But
yeah, because ganks, top lane tanks have so much setup for their jungler.
Yeah.
So just Zac just ease in, cues Sion into minion. Like, there's so much lockdown, and Lee Sin has so much damage. Also, Zac has so much damage.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be a problem. Also, with the Sion on the Zac, like, both of those tanks deal so much damage on their own. Like, a full charged Sion Q or ulti just is so devastating. Or even if Sion just dies in a fight, he just rushes at them and just starts hitting them left and right, even though his damage got nerfed a little bit a few patches ago, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it just on turrets? But either way, both of those tanks just deal so much damage.
Yeah. So I'm excited about the whole game. So let's see how the junglers will path and how the game will play out. At the moment, they just started on the same side and will now jungle to the bot lanes first. So maybe we see a sneaky mid lane gank or just bot lane gank with maybe a spicy counter gank. Who knows? Maybe one of them will skip a camp just to be a little bit more fast, to be first to the party. But it was pretty obviously that both will rather path to bot lane than to top lane just because it's tank matchup. And yeah, that's oh, two tower shots. That was painful.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate for the Sion. This Zac has so much sustain in lane if he just hits minions with his abilities and just picks up his blobs. It's just so much free sustain. Also has the advantage of not using mana or any resource. So the Sion will just Q and Q, and then at one point you will just have to force to reset.
Yeah, like there's like one thing in every single Sion matchup which is really important, that you have some way to either block or jump out of the queue or interrupt the queue from Sion. So basically, I mean, the matchup I play the most, obviously, because I'm on OTP, is with Poppy. So if you dash him and he is charging Q, then the Q gets stopped. I want to talk about it, but I fight. And with Zac, you basically have 3 ways to stop it, right? So you can either slap him with the Q and then like throw him together with the minion and stop it, or you can just press E to make a little jump to stop it. And in the later stages with your ultimate, you have even 3 ways to stop the Q. So that should be a really good matchup for the Zac, just because Sion will never be able to like fully charge a Q or stun you with the Q. And with that, he is missing so much damage in the matchup. So I think that this Zac pick actually for the top lane could work really, really well.
Yeah, exactly. It's just such a valuable pick for them right now. Just a good counter pick. Synergizes very well with their Orianna. I'm just so stoked to see Zac just E in and Ori just insta ults on them. Just very excited to see that in the later stages of the game, if they execute it, which shouldn't be a problem. There's the Q. That's so much damage on the Sion.
Yeah, I mean, if Zac can't stop it because he is too far away from the Q, then of course he can charge it. And but there could be a sneaky Scalon gank. He tries to bait it, but Sion.
There's also the Lulu thing.
Oh, there comes the knockup, there comes the Q, so Sion maybe gets killed because the Zac is level 6, and oh, Lulu, I think she auto-attacked the turret.
The turret, yeah, she auto-attacked the turret.
So not enough damage, but there is Jarvan. Jarvan maybe to the party, he tries to save and he tries to get Lulu, at least something for the team. And yeah, good counter gank there.
Yeah, very good timing from the Jarvan. Just very unfortunate for the Sion to die there. Didn't hit his 6 when he was alive. He literally got 6 when he died.
Oh. And unfortunate that Lulu got a kill, right? I mean, you got first blood, but on your Lulu, and meanwhile you even lost a little bit of pressure on bot lane, and it was a really high investment just to get 1 kill on Lulu. Meanwhile, Jarvan got a kill, which could be dangerous if he goes for some sort of a one-shot Jarvan, or even like a Bruiser Jarvan can deal tons of damage. And now there could be the 2v2 engage onto Zeri. Zeri is fast, but is she fast enough is the question. She flashes out, and in the end, they survive. But they need to drop down 2 summoners against just 1.
Oh, and just the... never mind. Sion just tried to sneakily get that red buff away from Lee Sin. But the smite just too on point and not enough damage from the charged Q.
Yeah. Scaran is quick with the smites. Hopefully he is quick with the smites at important situations like Barrets and Dragons.
Oh, there's the level 6 for the Zeri. Now she's legit enabled to be a champion. Because in the early stages, Zeri's just so weak in lane. But then when she just hits 6, she's just starting to be a very huge threat with all her movement speed. But we're gonna have to see. Oh, there's Ari moving down with Orianna right behind her.
Yeah, at the moment, both teams kinda don't really go for too much risky plays, for example. Like, I mean, Lee Sin could have went for flippy tower dive there or whatever, but in the end, they don't really risk something, which I really like, because then those games kinda oh, maybe there's on the hunt being popped, and that could be the kill on Sona, because she can't really get over the wall. But no, you can't chase further, so in the end, they survive it with just the heal invested.
Yeah.
Jarvan
that's
gets
a good engage.
wonderfully played, and of course Lulu doesn't have flash, so it's a pretty easy pickup. But Sona got the kill.
Now they're
Flash.
even on bot lane. Both supports have their little bonus gold.
Yeah.
Not the greatest thing to happen to an ADC, but also not the worst thing.
Kind of see some trades, and yeah, there was the ultimate to stop the Q, but in the end, both tanks don't really have the damage to kill each other right now, and not really much to do there. In the mid lane, the Ari needed to ultimate there. Or I think she tried to kill Ori maybe. But there's the dragon. Can Jarvan go for a sneaky steal? Maybe he goes in, maybe he flashes in, but no.
No, he would
doesn't.
just give. Yeah, I think if he jumps in there, I think he just gets polymorphed and dies. Or gets instantly kicked away.
Yeah, that's always dangerous.
So, you preferably don't go for that steal. But I see they're pinging Herald, looking for a Herald in the next few minutes. They know that Zac doesn't have ulti for another few seconds, which is a very good cooldown to have for Dynasty, because there's so much damage, so much knock-up, it just disrupts the fight. That's what I really like about Dynasty's composition. They have so much disruption in their kit with the Zac, Ori, and with the Lee Sin kick. It's just going to be so frustrating, annoying to play against that.
Yeah.
For PERTINAX.
And because knockups are just the strongest CC in the game, just because against normal CC like a stun or like a root, you can always cleanse it with a QSS or cleanse it with cleanse, or just build some tenacity, for example, just to don't get stunned as much. But against the knockup, you can't do anything. So that's really strong to have those many knockups, and then those team fights, like you said, become really annoying to play for those carries on the side of PERTINAX. But there's the gank on Sion, but he's just too tanky. I mean, you have a tank and a Lulu, which doesn't really make the cut. Even Snilla gets knocked up. That, I mean, Sion maybe even could go for something there. Yeah. If he goes instantly for the ultimate, Lulu needs at least the flash. And yeah, so really well played there by the Sion. But now Sona is in a dangerous place, because so many people are behind. Oh, flash kick von Skellen, so you get the Sona picked. Well done by Skellen.
Yeah, that could be Herald for Dynasty now, without the fourth player there. Just a very good catch timing, just a good flash kick. Sion ults away, so they could actually just pretend to force Herald and just turn.
Yes, but Ori is a little bit low for the Baron core, so you need to be a bit careful, not that you get in trouble against the Ari. Both ADCs now even try to roam, or at least Sivir tries to get into it, and Sari needed to at least defend the turret before she can go base now. But this game is really different from the other games, because I think we saw like 3 bloodbaths in every single game, like so many kills, so many like just crazy team fights and stuff. And here, oh yeah, those crazy like Yone goes to bot lane, gets double kill and stuff. And in this game, we really have 2 teams who know what to do, and who know that not every risk should be taken, and who just go for safe plays like this flash kick from Lee Sin. And even though he just gets like a kill for flash, they get at least the herald from it and stuff. So no, they didn't get a herald.
No.
Oh wait,
Jarvan took Herald.
oh that's sad. Or good for PERTINAX. I mean, it's not sad. So I mean,
It's actually quite good for them.
yeah,
But
definitely. I mean,
yeah, it's a very different type of game. Like it's so much slower. There's more careful how they're moving. Now you see the Jarvan moving towards top lane, might go for the Herald's top dive.
yeah, but he is still passive,
He has
so you can't really
passive.
kill him.
And there's the flash ulti. Oh, so you just drop it, get some platings.
Yeah.
It's okay. Oh, but there's the Lee Sin is on looking for the sonar.
Yeah, and Lulu is there as well, so they try to dive the Sari. It's so close. Sari now ults. She tries to fight back. There comes the Sonar ult, but you can't really do something. Lee Sin kick into Q, into knockup from Lulu. That was really well played, and even Lulu survives. Now Sonar is alone against 3 people, gets dived, but
Ari.
there's Ari. Ari gets the first. Ari gets even the reset, but she can't do more, and in the end, Lee Sin gets the kill against her. So 3 kills for 1 for Dynasty.
Yeah, they just traded kills for top tower. Like actually pretty okay, because now they can just start rotating and pressuring that crucial Drake. Ocean so good with their composition, both of the teams, with the Bruiser tank, jungle top laners. Like the funny thing is they have such a even or like almost the same ideal in their composition. So the Drakes are just so evenly valuable for both teams. But it goes to Dynasty with the Ocean. And it's going to be a Hextech Soul.
Yeah. So funny that you mentioned it, because I wanted to talk about those more or less even team comps, because who do you think has the better scaling? Because we see like almost identically types of champions. So who do you think, if the game goes to minute 40 or something, has more advantages with the team comp?
I think Dynasty has a little bit better scaling because of the Lulu. Oh, there's a catch on
really well played there. Just knock up
catch.
into a charm, but just go back to the point, I guess. Nothing happens.
Nothing happened. Didn't catch Yori. No, I think Dynasty scales a little bit better because of the Lulu, also with the Ori. I think Ori is just very strong in late game. We always have to check where her ball is, and it's in a team fight that's so disruptive with the Zac, with the Sin kick, with the Lulu polymorph. They just always have to watch out for those little things. But like, it's not, the difference isn't so big that you could just say Dynasty has the better scaling, because also Sion scales so well, like he gets so tanky, but also Zac gets so tanky. Like Lee Sin deals so much damage, there's so much lockdown, but also Jarvan has so much damage, so much lockdown. I think they're so evenly matched, and there's this doubled in 2v2 from Dynasty.
Yeah.
They're just running them down.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
And what a 2v2 kill. I mean, it's so easy for Dynasty just running them down, because like Sonar can't get out in any way. And then even like the Sari just gave her best, but in the end it's just not enough. And now the Zero actually with 4-0 looks really dangerous.
She has her Kraken, so that Sion just gonna melt. Sion went for Radiant Virtue. That's something I did not expect. I honestly thought he would go more for the Heartsteel angle, which is very popular with Sion, because you just get so much free HP and you just deal so much damage because of your bonus HP scaling when you last hit something. So I'm excited to see how much value it will have with his Radiant Virtue if he pops ulti. But yeah.
Yeah. That's an interesting choice, definitely. I think it tells a lot that he will try to like roam to the team like now with the ultimate and just go for those engages, because then the Radiant Virgin, of course, is really really strong if you sit with your team together.
Yeah.
Um, this game definitely is interesting because even though we have like 3 more kills and a really big Savior on the side of Dynasty, the gold is still even and even like a tiny bit ahead for PERTINAX just because of this first turret. So the play like at minute 30 or something, 13, where they placed the Herald, got the full turret, while they got doved bot lane. It gave so much gold that they are still in the game, even though it looks scary with like 3 more kills and 2 dragons. So PERTINAX definitely are still in there and can still scale into it, but they need to defend the next dragons. I think if they let soul points happen, then it will be really really hard just because you need to fight every single Drake, and then if you do one misplay, then you lose the Drake and the soul and stuff. So I think it's really important for them to not lose the next dragon, and that could be a key part of this game because he will spawn in like 1 minute. So the next few moments where they place setup vision and maybe find a catch, that could be really game deciding just because of the dragon situation.
Yeah, exactly. And also they secured the second Herald, actually. Not even Dynasty didn't even went for a vision on the Herald, they just took it. Like that's gonna be very helpful to just chunk that mid lane turret, give them a little bit more pressure also for that Drake play that's gonna be happening very soon. Because both teams will want to fight for it, because Dynasty will have Soul Point and
Ooh, the
PERTINAX now.
kick from Scan, finding the Solar, but she survives in the end, so you can maybe get the regain bounce, and there's Lulu down, Lee Sin going in, Lee Sin going down, and with that, there's maybe the chance to win the team fight for PERTINAX. Wonderfully played by the Sari, but in the end, she still dies, and there is Zac jumping in, but tower goes down with the flash charm. You might get the Zac passive, you kill him, and with that, the whole ace is secured by PERTINAX, and with that, the Drake will be secured. So they are back in business.
Yeah, great engage from Sion. He just ulted from river, hit Lulu half there. Just had to force her to leave the fight. Like, just was a very overall good play. Like also the catch from Ari with the charm, just overall very well played from PERTINAX.
And yeah, maybe a little bit too. Oh, that was close. If she was a little bit slower, faster, then maybe she could have done something there. But now Lulu is like in a rock in the hard place and probably can't do anything here, and will just give one kill to Sari. Oh, maybe she survives long enough, but there's science, so
Yes.
Snilla can't really do anything. And yeah, there's the kill for Dusselkopf.
That's the last hit from the tank. Always like to see that. Instead of giving gold to ADC, just the tank just takes it for itself.
Who needs Sari if you have Sion? I mean,
Exactly.
Simon carried the team fight, right? So give him a kill, man. Give him a kill.
He deserved it. He deserved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the top turret, tier 1, taken by Frankie, just clearing vision around Baron now. Just trying to do something on the top side while Lulu gets caught on bot lane.
And like I said, this dragon was really crucial, and the play before that, because now you have like 3 more minutes to scale a little bit. You are not in like Zugzwang where you need to play for every single trade. So now you can maybe even wait for free items on Sari and stuff, and then just go for those team fights, because like now we enter like mid game, and now slowly but surely some champions will have more value, some champions will have less value, and with that, those team fights will probably be a little bit more easy for the team with the Sari, just because you can always kite back and forth. Like the Ari and the Sari are really mobile, so you can engage from really far. You can disengage because you have so much disengage, of course, and the mobility from Sona, just giving everybody the movement speed, just really helps with this back and forth positioning. And now we maybe caught Skellender in the jungle, but no, he is just too mobile, and both teams will probably start to dance around the dragon and to dance around the dragon vision, of course, because that's usually in the mid game. We try to build up pressure with pushing side lanes, and then just set up vision, send the support home to get the vision back. And then if the enemy team, for example, has bad vision for in one case, then you can go for a catch, and with that maybe go for the Baron and stuff, or maybe with your split pusher. But in this case, both teams have a tank, so not so much split pushing at least. And yeah, that's the usually the Baron dance.
Yeah, we also have just Ari ulting away to just not getting caught by Ori ulti, just making it safe, just ulting a little bit away, just playing like we said earlier. Just both of those teams just play it really safe because they know just one mistake can just put them behind so much. Like last fight, they just did a little bit of positioning mistake and they just got punished by it. So now they're just back to playing it slowly, farming, clearing vision, pushing lanes a bit. It's just a different type of game than the last few.
Yeah, and maybe even because both teams are less do less faults. Like they just don't give a good opening to like punish something, because they don't make too many misplays.
Yeah.
Because in the other games, if you can clearly like start a team fight and catch someone, then someone was out of position. Like this Orianna, maybe for example, she flashes out really good shockwave, so she gets out, but there comes the teleport, and there comes maybe a really good kick there by Skellen. You get the first kill here for Frankie in this game. Ludo tries to chase Ari, tries to stop her from using the journey, and with that shutdown for Skellen, he again picks up the Zona, and with that they maybe might lead the charge, but there's Sari with a lot of movement speed, with a lot of damage. Baron gets started, but they are still Jarvan, they are still Sion, they are still Sari, but they all don't want to go for it. So that's the Baron for Dynasty probably. They lose the mid lane turret, but they get a huge big buff.
And Sari already on the Hex Drake, just want to secure it before Lee Sin comes down. Just takes too long. Probably. Ooh, okay, Lee Sin hasn't spotted her yet.
That could be troublesome. Okay, he gets the Q, but there's Jarvan as well, so probably it's the dragon for Dynasty. That's the third drake, that's so point, but in the meantime you even get these 2 kills for Frankie. Wonderfully played there from Dynasty, and with that they're really back in the game.
Yeah, so they're now in a very comfortable position. They have Baron, they have Soul Point. Okay, Sign just tried to Hexgate away.
That's Wet Nuddles. And he gets out.
Got it, okay.
Just waiting for the cooldown from the Hexgate and going for a second time. Funny that he gets out, but I think that has something to do with shields, because if you have a shield, you even can like start a recall and even get some damage. As long as you have the shield, you won't get started. But there's the engage from Ari, but she's already dead. Sivir with huge damage. There's a big knockup, but in the end, it's not enough. Sion needs to get out, and there was Galen trying to get a huge engage. But oh, what a shock by 3 people! And there comes Zac, and there's the team fights Dynasty needs. 4 people are down. It's maybe even a clean ace if they get Zac down. But in the end, it's just the it's just the mid lane turret and the mid lane inhibitor turret, and they can maybe even go for the finish because they have a big tank, they have a wave, so they can just try to defend the minions and try to go for the finish. And that would be the third win. Knock up from Sion, but that's not enough. He's just a tank, he can't kill them all, and in the end he will fall. Clean ace for Dynasty, the third win in a row from Dynasty, and it's the start to build their own dynasty. I need to make this joke every single time.
Damn.
Yeah, what a series.
Yeah, it's very unlucky for PERTINAX. Like, wow, I actually thought they had it. But
Yeah.
the Ari just got too caught. She was too much in the sauce, and then she just... But a very, very nice series. Very slow, very on point what they wanted to do. Like the dive on Ori, they just played very slowly. Like, also a very enjoyable series and a hell of an ending. Like a very good fight, last team fight.
Yeah. And
Dynasty just took it home.
Yeah, it was again like this combo of Skellen and Dark Unique, who just play perfectly in all those match days. I mean, last time with Maokai Zeri, this time with Lee Sin and with the Sivir, and I really like this bamboozle with the Zac, just swapping him to the top lane, and then out of nowhere the Lee Sin strikes, and yeah, it worked out. I mean, I think every single kick was versus Sona or something.
Yeah.
And like 3 times it works, and then like 1 time in the mid lane they got aced because of that. So sometimes you don't miss the shot, I guess. But yeah, he played really well on the Sin, so it was really a good idea to give him the last pick. And with that, Dynasty ends up on the first place together with Repass and with, I think, a 13. But we will just look at the standings if they are ready. Yeah, they are with slots, of course. They all won their third game, and then of course Aroma, after a really intense match with Aurora, where they pulled off their win, so they are now sitting at place number 4. PERTINAX with 1 and 2 sitting on place number 5. Then of course our 3 teams who still need a win to maybe start the bounce back for their own. But yeah, what an exciting first match day of this second week it was.
Yeah, just hell of games. Just very enjoyable games to watch and to cast here with you.
Yeah, and we could even got a little sneak peek about the next upcoming matches for Friday. And funny enough, Dynasty is playing the 4th game again. Like on every single other day, somehow they always get like the last game. The best comes at the last or something, they always say.
It's
So
the lucky number.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see those like first place teams clashing against each other one day. I mean, I can't really imagine a matchup with Dynasty against Reapers, or with Dynasty against Rift Slots, or Rift Slots against Reapers. I think those will be the really hype matches of the next weeks, and I'm really excited to see them. Maybe even to cast them, but we need to see which caster couple will do the next days. Anyway, I think that's the show from us today. It was a really cool match day with you. And hopefully I will cast with you again one day. I hope you had a lot of fun. And yeah.
Had a lot of fun.
Any last words from your side?
I'm just thankful that I got the opportunity to cast here with you. Had so much fun. The games were so enjoyable. Like it was just a fun evening sharing with you and you guys who are watching at home. And also with the teams who just all played their best. They all played so well. Like it was just very good League of Legends.
Yeah. That was a really good League of Legends day indeed. And with that, I would say we see us on Friday with the next match day. So please all just tune in and watch the English stream of the Elite Series, 2nd Division, and League of Legends. We wish you a nice evening and hopefully see you soon on Friday. With that, let's move on and say bye-bye.